Hey everybody, it's a special week in the golfing calendar. The Ryder Cup is here, and to celebrate that and for being such good partners of the Rough Cut Golf podcast, we'd like to thank the sponsors of today's episode, NordVPN, and we have an offer for you today. So all you need to do is go over to NordVPN So all you need to do is go to nordvpn.com/roughcut, and you can get what offer, Mick?
You can get, basically, when you buy a 2-year subscription, which is the best one to buy, you will get four months for free. It's really cheap, which means that you're not spending loads of money to keep yourself protected online. It means that you can tell your device you're in a different country so that you can enjoy the content from that country while you're not in that country. And it means that, people can't track you when you're doing all of the nefarious things that you do on the internet, David.
Well, I'm assuming that you're going to be using it a lot this week in America. Are you going to be watching a lot of, Preston's games, Arsenal's games this week?
I definitely will want to watch Arsenal, but what I want to watch more is the British Sky Sports coverage of the Ryder Cup whilst we're in America. Far fewer adverts, much better presenters, in my opinion. So yes, we definitely will be using it, and you should be using it too. nordvpn.com/roughcut.
A huge thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this podcast. They've been a great supporter of the channel and the podcast over the course of this year. So seriously, if you do want a VPN, go check them out. Okay, let's get into the podcast.
Sometimes golf is a pain in the butt. You hit your ball in the trees and then you lip out the putt. But if you've got a little time, then come and spend it with us. Cause now you're listening to the Rough Cut.
Welcome down to the Rough Cut Golf podcast. Oh boy, do we have the week of golf ahead. It is the Ryder Cup. It is the greatest moment in the sporting calendar, in my humble opinion, where Team Europe will be heading across the Atlantic, not very far this time, into New York to take on the Americans. And that is what we are going to be looking at today. Don't know why the guys are so giggly. We've got Mick, we've got Kieran, and making a special guest appearance today, David, everyone's favourite.
Good old David.
David Barwise, the celebrity, by the way.
What?
Got mobbed at the airport.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got recognised.
And parents.
Well, they were involved because I think he asked me to give him a shout out. So whatever your name was.
Wow.
He's so big time. He's so big time. He doesn't
time.
care about the
I think
fans.
it was Matthew from Opta. There you go. But kind of said, excuse me.
Opta, is that just outside Oxford?
Yeah, something like that.
Don't they do the stats for the Premier League?
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
It's a whole town.
They're all really good at maths.
Outside Oxford, that's all they do. It's kind of weird, but yeah.
It said, excuse me, it's David, right? And I was like, I think so, yeah. I was like, I'm a big fan, dramatic pause, of Peter Finch. I'm like, okay, I'll let him know. And then my mum, who was travelling with me, came up and said, I'm his mum, can I get a photo? And then took an awkward photo of the two of us shaking hands, so...
Wow.
That's David's mum, by the way, not my mum. My mum wasn't travelling with David.
Right.
Yeah, it's David's mum.
Yeah. Clarity was required.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a very weird family trip, but hey. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, because two of us have been away on separate holidays, I should probably stress as well.
David and Pete went on holiday together again.
Or was it? Or was it separate?
Yeah. We didn't see you in each other's Instagram posts, but it doesn't mean you weren't in each other's
No,
Instagram.
well, someone has to hold the camera. So.
Oh, still working.
Yeah. Although I went to Portugal to play more golf, whereas you went away to play less golf, I guess.
I went to a country which literally has, I think, one golf course.
Right.
And you know what? It was pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you get recognised?
A couple of times, once really awkwardly, as I was like stumbling out of the sea, like a kind of beach jellyfish. And
Not like a Daniel Craig-esque.
It was Daniel Craig-esque in the way a human can walk out of water.
Right.
But that was the only similarity. And we're both British. There was no woman on a white horse waiting for me. Let's put it that way.
David may have been.
Yeah.
David's head on the top of his very white body was waiting for me. I often
The
think
visions I'm
of
having right now. You
David's
walking out of the sea
head
and him.
riding his white horse body. That's what I'm thinking. He's basically a centaur.
I thought I'd drive that.
So,
Can we talk about the Ryder Cup
We'll get to Ryder Cup.
at some point during this podcast?
and you know what? I went to Croatia and it was great. But it's the Ryder Cup. It is being played at Bethpage Black, one of the notoriously difficult courses on the planet, and we're going to delve deep into the competition today. We're going to have a look at who's like to be playing. We're going to be looking at all the big stories. We're going to be looking at Keegan Bradley taking Paul Azinger's advice. Apparently, someone has put on the notes here about Bryson is going to dominate.
Who put that?
That must have been you. Oh. So I don't think he will at all. But there's going to be like all the stats, everything that you need to know, and I'm just really, really excited about getting over there. Myself and Mick are going to be traveling to the States on Wednesday, so we will be reporting from the site on the ground. Your reporters in New York. Me and Mick.
What kind of state are you going to be in the kind of like post golf each day? What kind of state do you reckon you're going to be in? Because I would love to do a like end of day 20-minute roundup podcast that we can stick out on Discord or something like that. I would love to do one each day, but are you going to be in a state to do one? Because I don't want to do it on my own.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. I'll be feeling pretty loose at that point. I did do, I just literally remembered, last year in Rome, I can't remember what day it was. It first day? When Di Doherty came over to me. Were you still here at this point?
Maybe not.
Dave was smashed every day. I had to blame sleep in hospitality. It was very embarrassing. Di Doherty came over and she was doing something for Sky, and it was like the world feed, similar to what we did at the Open.
Yeah.
And she comes over, she says, "Oh, do you want to do a quick interview about the Ryder Cup?" And she comes to collect us. We sit in the stand around the first. This is after the matches have finished, so it's kind of empty. Mm-hmm. And we just sat there talking. And little do I know, I've had a couple of, Aperol spritzes.
A few sauces have been consumed.
Well, it's Italy.
Yeah.
I had to do as the Italians do. And
coffee.
Little did I know, there's interviews like going out. I look up, and my face and her is on every single big screen around the golf course. Every single one.
And you're loose.
And I'm like, I'm looking at that, and then I'm looking at Di, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God. Like...
Lock in.
Come on.
Game face off.
Come on. This is serious now. Whoa. And yeah, I think I gave probably one of the most boring interviews in the world, but hey.
Okay.
So in answer to your question, I'm going to be absolutely fine because I'm a professional.
Okay. So well, maybe we'll we'll try it at the end of Wednesday. No, Wednesday would have just landed. At the end of Thursday, having walked around, seen some practice and whatever, we'll try and do one on what we've just seen.
I think Thursday we're actually in New York. I think we're doing stuff with BMW.
Oh, sick.
So
oh, cool.
I'm thinking that's right.
There's no golf? There's no golf? Okay, Friday. We'll do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll try.
Do they do tickets? Sorry. Do they do tickets for like the Thursday and Wednesday? Like, is it like practice
people are
days?
there.
Right,
people are there now.
Oh, well, I was going to say, could you not just do it on the shuttle on the way back, just in the back of the car, and then you've got whatever that would be? Like in my head, it's 20 minutes, but Ryder Cup traffic maybe it's 2 hours.
Ryder Cup traffic and New York traffic is going to be like a horrific combination.
Yeah.
It's going to be a double long podcast. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, we'll try and do something. So if you're in the Discord, hope that something arrives.
And if you do see us at the Ryder Cup, you are heading there, say hello, by all means.
Yeah. Might have some swag for you, maybe, potentially.
Nah, just buy us a drink.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Should we talk about the golf course, Peter Finch?
Nah.
Cool. Go on.
The golf course is... So I've been thinking this over the course of the year about what actually makes a good Ryder Cup golf course.
Okay.
Because it isn't necessarily about the quality or the history or how you would define the normal characteristics of a championship golf course. Sometimes that doesn't matter. Like the Belfry is not going to be hosting a major championship. Well, it won't anyway because it won't host. It's not a links. But the Belfry for me, the Brabazon, has 3 really good holes, and I think that's about it. The rest of the course is fine. I don't mind it, but it produced some very exciting Ryder Cups.
Yeah, it's got areas of potential drama.
Yeah, like to be fair, Marco Simone, like last year, I liked the course, but it was a good Ryder Cup course. Le Golf National, amazing Ryder Cup course.
Yeah.
There are certain characteristics which will make it a very good venue for this event, whereas it kind of feels like the US are tending to go for the big name courses now and the real championship tests. Brookline is nothing to do with this. Bethpage Black is one of the hardest golf courses in the world, quite literally. Yeah. And when you watch a Ryder Cup, I don't really want to see people grinding their eyeballs out for pars.
Yeah, so we're going to talk a little later about some of the holes specifically, kind of the middle stretch between 9 and 12, where it's 4 back-to-back 480-yard-ish par fours, all terrifying for the average golfer. The question being, do we want to see a like birdie fest where it's like, can we try and eagle this hole to get one up? Or do we want to see people just avoiding bogeys and winning holes with pars?
I think it's just would be a little bit of a mindset shift as far as if you would play Bethpage in a US Open, US PGA, your ideal is to make a par on most holes. Whereas a Ryder Cup, you do switch that mentality a little bit. I'm talking like I played 6 Ryder Cups.
Five. You've only played in 5.
Your mindset then is to make birdies to attack. Because if you bogey it, if you triple bogey a hole, it doesn't matter. Like you just lose the hole. It's not like it goes on a scorecard. But I don't know what they're going to be doing with the course.
Well, I've got some information for you if you'd like it.
Have you really? Are we going to read this, by the way?
Yeah, so this is kind of just some context on the area and what's been hosted there before. So read this out for us, because this will give us a kind of understanding of where this course is.
Okay. The 120-mile-long glorified sandbar comprising of 4 counties of Long Island, Brooklyn, Queens, Nassau, and Suffolk. Suffolk is home to 8 million people and 160 golf courses, more than you could shake a hickory at.
That isn't in there.
Is it not?
Read it verbatim, lad.
From world-class private membership venues such as Shinnecock Hills National Golf Links of America to modest city courses in Brooklyn like Dyker Beach under a bridge next to the meth heads. Or Marine Park Golf Course adjoining a landfill. The area has hosted 10 US Opens, 7 US Amateurs, 6 PGA Championships, 5 US Women's Amateurs, 4 Walker Cups, and 1 Women's Open. And now, for the first time, its first Ryder Cup. There you go.
That's
You might need to work on that New York accent.
Yeah, it's also it's also the second time in 2 podcasts that you've mentioned meth.
Yeah, that is true.
It's a problem.
It's a real problem, and I'm going to have to cut it out now.
Why?
Because
people know that it's out there, you know.
Yeah, but you talk about it way too much. Way too much.
It's just the in vogue drug.
Okay.
Could chat about cat if you want.
Also getting cut.
Coke?
Out.
MDMA?
All of it.
MDMA. Acid.
All of this is going.
Tabs? Do you tab up on a regular basis?
No. Do you remember the 2019 PGA Championship?
I don't. Kieran will.
Yeah, well, Kieran will, because Brooks won.
And it was also Tommy Fleetwood. Tommy Fleetwood was in contention that time as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'll tell you what, he didn't win it.
He didn't win it. No, Brooks did come through, but yeah.
Was that at Shinnecock?
Was it not? Oh, right. Was it?
No, that was at Shinnecock. Bethpage Black, completely different golf course.
Was it?
They are close to each other, though, as we've just learned.
Right. Sorry, maybe I was wrong. Did he?
Do you want to go there and read that bit again?
Yeah, let's start.
Sorry, I thought that was him.
No. And he's not going to be at the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, so
No,
that's the story, is that the man with the most recent success story in the US team actually didn't make it into the US team, having had a
poor season.
And a forgettable, a Ryder Cup that he would want to forget last time around in Europe. So,
oh my God, that's still the
him and Scotty Scheffler is one of the funniest stories from last time.
Funniest and most tragic things ever.
Well, because we were waiting on, what was it, the 11th hole?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a genuine opportunity for them not to get to where we were on the course. and just every single time, just that blue got a little bit, you know, more prevalent.
They won 9 and 7.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
think they did.
It might as well have been 15 and something. It was an absolute annihilation. But it's just the look that Brooks gave Scheffler when he kind of bladed his chip and he went over the green, he went down the hill and forced Brooks to walk down that hill
And go and hit a chip shot.
Yeah. At a match that they were going to lose. It was delicious. It was bellissimo.
I rewatched a load of that stuff over the course of the last week, and that match was particularly enjoyable. Particularly to watch Hovland just go off, and him and Oberg Hovland basically sat them both down and said, "Listen, I know you're two of the best players on the planet, but me and this guy who's never played in a major before, we're going to hand you a spanking."
Yeah, it wasn't it? As well? You kind of forget that about Oberg. I think it's literally his first Ryder Cup, but he never played in a major before.
He'd played on the PGA Tour like twice or something, and then went straight there.
Yeah. Well. Hey, listen,
Animal.
he's established now. We're going to talk about teams in a bit. The way it's shaping up, I don't know. I think this is shaping up to be one of the most interesting Ryder Cups for a while because of like how the teams play out and the home team advantages. But we'll get on to that.
Exactly. So tell me about this. Do you remember this? In 1995, the most recent Ryder Cup in New York at Oak Hill Country Club, where Europe won 14.5 to 13.5.
It was a little bit before my golfing time. I must admit, I don't remember this. David might remember this.
Yes, yeah. Back when I was
4, 3.
what was
But you-
2?
You were 2.
But you retain information unbelievably well.
You're
Dave.
like an encyclopedia of golf.
Yeah, who won?
Well, this is just to show that it is doable, and it is doable in New York for Europe to turn up and go and win the Ryder Cup, even if it is by such a slim margin.
I feel the atmosphere and the way that golf is supported, I suppose, is one way of looking at it. The way that the Ryder Cup has moved, I just don't think it's going to be quite the same atmosphere as it was at Oak Hill. It's always feisty. Like both teams desperately want to win, but I've already said this to you guys. I am genuinely slightly concerned about what the crowd's going to be like.
Yeah.
Like the atmosphere at the moment in the States is kind of weird. It's so weird, and they really want to win. And I don't know how it's going to go. I really don't know how it's going to go, but we'll see. I'm sure it'll be fine.
It's going to be interesting to see like what the kind of split is between US to sort of Europe. You know, when you guys were in Rome, like what was the split between Europeans and, you know, USA?
Probably 3/4 European, maybe a touch more.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe 4/5.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It probably felt like more than that, because I think after day one, it was like everyone that we spoke to from the US side just became a lot more subdued very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Like again, the shuttle was running to and from the course. Obviously, kind of, we bunked up with a few other people as well, including some Americans. And again, just from the off, it's like, yeah, after day one, like it was over as far as a lot of people were concerned. And then that just meant that everyone was there in fancy dress, but not actually cheering for the US anymore.
Oh my God! Right.
Yeah, if you've come dressed as a dead president and you're not shouting anything, it's probably not going to go particularly well for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's a tough scene. Also, like, I don't know, unless the US fans are chanting USA, USA, you don't really hear them because they don't have any songs.
No.
Yeah, I think unanimously the American fans will admit that the European fans' ability to create a song out of nothing is unbeatable worldwide.
Yeah.
I think the problem is the problem is.
Tell me the problem.
I think generally, like US fans, US sports teams, they have chants, which is very like USA. It's very simple. Like it can all be encapsulated within a few words.
I believe that we will win.
That's one of my favorites.
Which it reeks.
That's awful.
I believe that we will win. It's not. It's just anyway. It's not great. I think the European crowd, European fans, it's a different atmosphere because they've grown up around mostly like soccer and things like that, which have just this absolute plethora of. You've got a plethora of material to build a song on.
There's some famous football chants in this country, some of which garnered legal action, some of which garnered riots. I don't think they have that in America when they sing "I Believe We Will Win." They believed it more than we believed it, and now I'm angry and I want to fight.
We do have Olay though, so I can't really say too much.
Like,
Yeah.
That's
gotta-
3 letters.
I mean, they've probably got the better heckles though. Like, I think if you treat it as an individual sport rather than team sport, we sing together quite well.
Which
but-
is ironically how they treat the Ryder Cup. David.
Just imagine there's some really angry, drunk New Yorkers there. Like, New Yorkers get angry if you walk too close to them on the pavement.
Okay.
Why are you walking too
sidewalk.
close to these people on the
Noted,
sidewalk?
yeah.
The sidewalk.
Because he's playing match play, and that's one of the ways of getting your opponent's head.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that right?
It's to get in their personal space.
Literally standing this. Walking down the fairway.
While
like
they're trying to read their
close.
putt.
For the
that why you-
podcast listeners, I was shoulder to shoulder there with Kim.
Yeah, that's how you sit for guest the player most times as well.
Oh God, yeah, guest the player. There wasn't guest the player last time. We're thinking of bringing it back at Christmas, but for now we're going to hold off.
I think we need a plethora of games to play. This needs to be a golf quiz based.
A quiz-based podcast.
Quiz-based podcast.
Yeah, we're not like we're trying to reinvent the wheel every week. Talk to me about You've never been to Bethpage before. You've seen and read quite a lot about it.
Yeah.
What's the hardest course that you've ever played?
Apart from Marple.
Run the clip.
God, that is a tough one.
Because you played the Castle course hungover.
Yeah, but I played well.
Impossible greens, but you played for. I think you shot 3 under or something on the day.
I would say that the Bethpage stands out as a hard course from what I know and from what people have told me who've played it. It's a long course, relatively narrow, but the rough is incredibly thick, and the undulation changes, the greens, everything is designed to punish a stray shot, and that's without it being windy. Like most of the hardest courses that I've played, when I think back, it's pretty much condition based. I'm just trying to think of a course that I've played that has been incredibly hard in its own right.
Marco Simone.
Yeah, that was hard.
I think that had not a lot to do with the golf course. That was mostly down to me.
The 12 on the 5th,
Yeah.
13th.
Oh yeah.
I
Run the clip.
I made that golf course look hard. That was all me.
Yeah.
It's actually an easy course.
Hey, you got some Sky Sports coverage out of it though.
Yeah. Mum was really proud. That's my mum, by the way, not David's.
Correct.
Just to
just
clarify.
make sure.
So what's more difficult, Carnoustie or Kiowa?
Oh, yeah.
In calm conditions or windy?
Both.
Windy, I'd probably say tournament setup's still going to be Carnoustie. Just because Kiowa is one of my favourite courses and it is hard, but I think there's maybe 2 or 3 holes where it really narrows up. Other than that, it's relatively wide. Like you could be a little bit wayward. I don't think you get that benefit at Bethpage, depending on how they've set it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not Marple, not Rockcliffe Hall.
Rockcliffe Hall's just a slog.
Yeah.
It's just long.
Yeah, that episode of Record Breakers was a
Yeah.
slog as well, I'll tell you
So-
that.
It's so windy as well.
Well, I'm going to talk about record breakers actually. The Dukes up in St Andrews, I played that off the backs in relatively calm conditions. That was hard.
Impossible.
Yeah. Because distance is a real, like I hit the ball a relatively long way, but even a mid 7,000 yard course for me, it's still a long course. And it really pulls out the problems with your ball striking.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what about? We'll come back to this in a second. But Bad Little Nine.
That's not a golf course.
It's a sideshow.
It's just it's an entertainment piece.
No, but a course can be short but challenging at the same time.
Marple.
Fair enough. But to be fair, I think distance is going to play a huge part this week because I think you go on Data Golf and the closest course comp to Bethpage is TPC Harding Park. Obviously, Morikawa won that. I think Paul Casey came second, generational driver. Then you got DJ, Finau, Bryson was in there, Matthew Wolf was in there, Cam Champ got a top 10
Champ.
in a major, which tells you
boy.
everything you need to know. So obviously there's a...
What are you trying to say? Are you disparaging Cam Champ's game apart from his driving there?
I'm saying
You're
that
basically saying he can just hit it a long way and that's it.
I'm saying...
Zero touch. I heard him say 0 touch, bad putting.
So disrespectful.
I mean, I didn't say that. I thought it with every fibre of my being. I couldn't tell you what his second skill set is. If you look at his skill set pentagram, it's just a point.
A pentagram. What's he summoning?
Cameron
I
Champ.
like that. The pentagram.
You heard
Devil on the golf course.
You heard it here first. Cameron Champ is the devil.
Yeah.
What are they actually called those things?
I think you said it right there.
Well, yeah, let's go pentagram. but
Pentagraph.
Pentagraph, pentagon, maybe just. But their skill set.
The pentagram's what you do to like summon something from the beyond.
I think you might be right there. But at the same time, maybe that's what Cam Champ does to summon these incredible
I mean,
drives.
that's what I use.
Right, okay. So far, we've had drugs and satanic rituals mentioned in this podcast.
Excellent. Thanks so much to NordVPN.
I don't like to call them satanic. I've just got...
Oh my God. This is the loosest podcast I think we've ever done. You're not even drunk.
You know what? Yeah, okay. So... one thing I did see here, which I didn't know, 250,000 rounds a year at the Bethpage courses.
Yeah, they are really busy.
That's amazing. I mean, it is a public course, and price is actually relatively affordable there. $160.
Yeah, so that's a weekend round at a peak time on the weekend, $160. It ends up meaning that you probably, at this point, well, definitely at this point, you would have to be sleeping in the car park for a couple of days in order to be one of the first people to turn up and get one of those tee times. But you can get on, they're owned by the government, so you can just turn up and play as a resident. You get a cheaper rate if you're a resident. If you're a resident, it's only $80 if you live in New York.
Okay. Well, that's all right.
Yeah, which is really good.
And also, like I say, it's government owned, so you can bribe an official.
Cool. Drug use, summoning the devil, bribing government officials.
Hey, it's all in one night.
I worry for you guys going. I worry for you guys.
He's not worried. He's going to have a great time.
Oh dear. No, but the it's
Yeah, but seriously.
Yeah, but let's bring it back to...
it is one of the best courses, like best public courses, in the world. That's what it's kind of labelled as, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's a very, very cool course. So and a beast.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about just a few of the holes in a little bit of detail here. First one I wanted to talk to you about is this one here, the fourth hole, which is the kind of signature par 5 of the golf course. It's very hard and very long for the average golfer. So this first bunker you can see down the left is a 300-yard carry to get over the bunker. It's slightly downhill, but it's 300 yards to carry that.
That's fine.
Which then leaves you kind of 200-ish, 37 feet uphill. So add on, however many yards to get to the green. And if you're not hitting a high lofted club into the green, the ball will fly through the back of the green because it won't grab. And long is very, very bad. So what we'll see the shorter players doing, not in the Ryder Cup because it'll all be very long, but players who are playing this as an average golfer will hit down the middle of the fairway, hit to the right of the green, and then they'll have a chip where they can see the whole surface. That will not be happening at the Ryder Cup. These guys will be hammering it. Some of them, in fact, hitting 3-wood off that tee in order to carry those bunkers and not reach the next ones.
Yeah, it's a tricky one because 517 yards for most golfers is a long way. For these guys, a tee shot slightly downhill, like they're going to cover the bunker 300 yards.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone, well, not everyone, but the vast majority of the people in these teams will be able to cover that.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden you got, 200-ish. Let's say they get it 320 down there. You got 180, 37 up the hill. So you're going to be playing about 200. It's like a 7-iron. So all of a sudden these distances, they do shrink. And it just depends what they do with the rough.
Okay, so I'll tell you what they've done with the rough.
What about
do you want
Tillinghast Designs?
Do you want to read this entire thing? Can you do it in a normal accent? Are you going to do it in your...
Don't know. Depends. What's wrong with my golf announcer's voice?
I mean, it's fine.
Do American.
The
Bronx, like the Bronx.
Okay, so this is the spiel about the fourth.
I can't do New York.
New York.
I'm walking here and I can't. That's all.
Sounded like a kind of like an old Frenchman, really. Right? Are you gonna?
Do you want me to do this? Okay, so
Who's editing this podcast?
Yeah, I am.
Tillinghast Design Genius is undercut significantly Given distances, the Ryder Cup players drive the ball. 300 yards on a slightly downhill tee shot carries a lovely cauliflower-shaped bunker. I love cauliflower cheese. On the left, the most everybody Bethpage golfers struggle with. Some longer hitters might hit a 3-wood. That's what you said, Michael. To keep from running into a secondary wall of bunkers at the end of the fairway. A bunker formation that most of us mortals, that's a difficult word, struggle to carry into. From the fairway, these golfers will have midline of circa 200 yards, uphill 37 feet to a green perched just beyond yet another wall of sand. There we go.
Well, that's just me overlaying the flyer.
The drone footage. That was a struggle. I don't think I've ever tried that. It's so many words.
It's one of the longer voiceovers you would have ever done.
Well, in that accent it is, yeah. Kind of lost it.
I liked it though.
Thank you.
Are you going to develop like multiple? You need a trigger for each of these versions of American Pete. So Andy Serkis, when he was recording the Lord of the Rings audiobooks, he would have like a thing that he would do physically that would get him into the voice of Gandalf speaking to Aragorn so he would have something that he would do. You need to develop that so you know how to get into Carolina Pete versus New York Pete.
Okay, so yeah, Southern Pete just have a nice like a bourbon.
Oh, okay.
Like posh old school Pete.
Yeah.
It's all alcoholic. I'm like a sherry or something. I don't know. I'm not a method actor.
You could be.
What you're actually saying there is I need to develop a mild form of schizophrenia to kind of come up with these characters and just slip into it. I can do that.
So let me talk to you about this rough, because one of the things that they have done is actually cut the rough down from normal.
Yeah.
So during the US Open in 2019, someone mad went and measured the rough, 4.5 inches in height. We're now down to 3 inches in height in the areas of rough, which I don't know whether that benefits the Americans as much as they think it will, because I don't think there's such a disparity between driver distances on tour anymore. I mean, particularly with people like Rory and Rahm. We've got some long boys in the team. Højgaard, famously very, very long. So I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference until they get to these holes here, 9 to 12. They're so far. The problem I'm thinking about is that they're going to be fatigued by the time they get there. They will have walked this extremely hilly golf course, which one of the big problems with this golf course is if you pay that $160 to go and play it, on any of the other golf courses in Bethpage State Park, you're allowed a buggy. On this one, you're not.
Oh my God.
So you have to walk Bethpage Black, and it is really up and down.
And that is it is a genuine issue if you have members of your team who are older, who might not have the same kind of level of fitness they used to have. Like for the European team, maybe Justin kind of stands out, but he is ultimate professional. He's still probably as fit as most of the players in that team. So it will have an impact.
Yeah,
it will definitely have an impact, and that's something that the captain's going to have to manage. Yeah. I think with the rough being low, I honestly don't know how I feel, because Bethpage Black, one of the hardest golf courses in the world, and what you're going to do is take away one of the biggest challenges that the course represents. Yeah. I think they don't have much of a choice, because it is the Ryder Cup. You do want to see birdies. You want to see the players being challenged, but nobody wants to see a hole won with an 8. Would you?
Well, the other team got a 9.
That'd be pretty sick.
That would be cool, to be fair.
Maybe that's one thing they'll do. Oh my God.
They'll make it so difficult.
A Ryder Cup in the future, just turn it into like a proper US Open standard.
Yeah, so some of the things that they noticed during the 2019 US Open have now been rectified in order for this tournament. So the rough that was between the fairway, the first cut, and bunkers that were on the line of play has been almost completely removed to encourage, if you hit it on that line of play and you hit it too far, or you're slightly right or slightly left of where you should be hitting it, that rough has been cut all the way down so that the ball is encouraged into those bunkers, which makes it, much more of a problem less so for these guys because some of these guys aim for bunkers in order to have good clubs into greens and stuff. But they have thought about how that US Open played and tried to adapt the course to make it more penal for the guys who they know will be hitting it where they want, hitting it a long way, and then wanting specific clubs into greens. So there has been the things that were previously shielded about the course have been unshielded, and now the course will show its teeth, hopefully.
I would imagine as well that, and this happens with the European team as well, the US team will have an absolute, they'll have a team of statisticians.
There's an extra S in there that you're doing that he's not doing.
From the Greek. So they will all have teams working on how to set the golf course up to maximize their team's strengths.
Yeah.
So that is why you tended to see in the past, and kind of seems to be going here, the US team always had much shorter rough because they had the longer hitters, but not the most accurate. So they will be looking at all these different factors, because this is what Donald did with Rome. Like he would look at even like to the minutiae of, right, okay, so, you know, Bryson's going to be on this hole, even though he kind of wasn't. You're looking at a single player for this hole. What are his strengths? What are his weaknesses? Should we cut the rough down there on the left? No, it actually sees he misses 70% of his drives on the left. We'll keep it thick there. So down to those kind of minute levels.
Yeah, Thomas Bjorn.
From the Danish.
Yeah, he's Danish. Danish. Wow. I need some of this. In Paris, they had worked out that the guys who are playing on the European Tour were much better between 190 and 170 yards into greens, and that the US players were going to try and hit it a long way. So they made the long way bit of it really tight, opened up the fairways at the point where they knew they were statistically better.
Yeah.
And then everyone was having to hit that club in, and the Team Europe were just better at it.
Yeah, I think that all these sort of tactics, like sort of behind the scenes, aren't really talked about enough. I don't think they're kind of like the stuff that goes on even before the event is like massive, and you know, it really determines and really, you know, favours the home team a lot. So I think it's something that's not talked about.
I think there's a lot of cards that are kept close to their chest as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like if Europe have found a way to get an advantage on home soil, they probably don't want to lead the USA in that direction as well. But at the same time, I guess they do trade blows, and that's why, you know, it's so hard to win an away Ryder Cup at the moment. But yeah, by the sounds of it, if they have found a way to make it favour the US team a bit more, great. But from like a real casual observer looking in, both teams seem so closely matched. I don't really know what part of their game they're looking at.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to who's the longest and who's the straightest, really. It's not necessarily there's not necessarily a big difference anymore. There was a long time ago when the players on the European Tour played on courses in Europe, and the players on the PGA Tour, who were mostly Americans until people like Tony Jacklin and Seve went over there, all of those American players were playing different courses to players who were playing on the European Tour. So setting up your course to make it a like exaggerated version of the courses you play on was great, because when people would come, they'd be like, what the hell is this? I've never played anything this long. Or you'd come to a European course and be like, wow, this is really tight and really tight. Like that doesn't necessarily happen anymore, because almost everyone plays all of their golf in America anyway. This is just an interesting one I wanted to highlight about missing the fairway. So this is the hardest hole on the course, the 15th. It's a par 4, 484 yards. During the US Open, it played 4.36 shots. And the green is 50 feet above the player's head if they land in the middle of the fairway. So you cannot see the bottom of the flag. And this is the best stat about it, is that if you miss the fairway off the tee, you have a 60% chance of making a bogey.
Yeah. Nice.
Which is absurd.
I think maybe that's, I don't know if we'll be able to get the stats hole by hole, but actually revisiting that and seeing the players who missed the fairway there, like how many do actually make a par.
Well, I'll tell you what.
With the rough being down.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. While you're watching the tournament, send us messages on Instagram about the 15th. When we get to the 15th, we'll all hold our breath to make sure they don't miss the fairway.
Yeah. I think the I think one of the biggest dividing factors with the Ryder Cup, and again, this is all like stats based, is you would imagine that it is putting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you would imagine that that's going to be one of the key deciding factors, because we all have these famous images of Ryder Cups, and it's usually someone holding a putt, because that's what it comes down to. And this is why Poulter was such an amazing kind of Ryder Cup player, is like ball striking wise, by his own volition, I'm sure he'd agree. You know, he wasn't the best ball striker in the world. He's obviously a great player, but under the cosh and when the Ryder Cup was on the line, you'd want him with the putt.
Yeah.
Because he had that thing. He had it.
Just had something.
Yeah, he was the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about why those players maybe won't make great Ryder Cup captains, because how do you explain genius? How does Poulter explain, oh, just get yourself up for it to other players? Do you know what I mean? Like, just switch on that bit in your head, Bob McIntyre, and play the best you've ever played in your entire career in the next 5 holes.
I think Team Europe has an advantage in the sense that I think we have, in my opinion anyway, maybe I'm a bit biased, obviously, you know, supporting Team Europe, the European story in the Ryder Cup and the legends that people have to look up to, it feels stronger. It feels more genuine on the European side. Like, to look up to Poulter. Like, Poulter, he's not won a major. He's won professional events. But in the lexicon of the greatest players who have ever played this game, if you just go on all tournament results, Poulter's not going to be in there. But in a Ryder Cup sense, if you're in that dressing room and you want to draw on memories and you want to believe that you can win, you would look at Poulter at Medina. You would look at what he did. You'd look at all these great performances. Obviously, like going all the way back to Seve. Seve's, you know, one of the iconic players there. It just feels like Europe has that stronger ethic and story because everyone buys into that kind of ethos.
But do you think that's just because, like you said, we are sitting on this side of the pond? Do you think that the Americans think that about Patrick Reed and Davis Love and know the few, the people who went out and did all the they came back in that, is it 99 at the Country Club? Like, they came back from a huge deficit. They did it to us. You know, like, do they look at those tournaments and the players who played them out and go, wow, like, that person is, you know, the equivalent of Poulter or Seve or Rory or, you know?
I probably, the best way to describe it, and this is more of a mental exercise, and again, I think I'm probably a little bit biased, but please play this mental game in your head. If you go through the teams, so both teams of the Ryder Cup, both US and Europe, and you gave each of them the choice. So you said, okay, and you've got a choice here. Win a Ryder Cup or win a major. Which one would you rather have? Would you suggest, or would you posit, that the European team would have more players that would select a Ryder Cup, or the US team more players that would select a Ryder Cup?
Yeah, you're probably right. It's tricky though, because, you know, would Rory say that having previously, you know, before he won the Grand Slam, would Rory have said, I want to win another major? And now he's done it, he's like, now I want to win a away Ryder Cup. Like, I guess the things you want change over the course of your career. But
yeah, definitely.
It does feel like there are more players on the European side who lived for the Ryder Cup.
I think that it also means that, like, and Rory said it in 2023 at Marco Simone about the fact that, you know, the hardest challenge in golf is winning an away Ryder Cup. And I think that that's probably the thing missing there, is that if you asked any of these people if they were going to win an away Ryder Cup, I think they would take that over a major, personally. And I would say that probably, maybe, like you say, with the US side, maybe there probably doesn't have that same correlation. But I would say all of the Europeans would rather win away Ryder Cup than a major.
I don't know. Hey, listen, it's a fun exercise to play, but it goes back to that theme of the Europeans tending to, from the outside anyway, having a better team spirit and a better togetherness within the dressing room. Again, it might just be, what's the word?
Your perception.
perception.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, you can kind of see it from the way of the fact that how the US team have acted. All of the players are getting paid for this. We haven't spoken about that yet. That the United States team are being paid. Yeah, like
it's a disgrace.
it's an absolute disgrace.
It's a problem, is it? Like when things kind of have a certain amount of time period, you do tend to forget. But like, seriously, US. I mean, it wasn't the whole US team.
No,
let's be honest about it. We know there's certain players within the team who wanted it more than others, and it was a bit of a fold of epic proportions to say, okay, well, you will be paid if you play in the Ryder Cup. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. It should be such an honour to play, and it's not like they're losing out. They're not having to pay their own plane fares there. But also, if you play in a Ryder Cup, the opportunities that then open up to you afterwards are massive. From a sponsorship point of view, invites, your reputation within the game grows huge, especially if you win. So it feels it's kind of dirtied it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, let's talk about some of those dirty American players, shall we?
Wow.
The course is going to be
There's
tough.
things that are going to have to be cut out of this.
The course is going to be tough. It's going to be a real test. Now let's talk about the players who are going to take the test. Peter Finch, run us through the US team for the 2025 Ryder Cup.
Okay. We have Scotty Scheffler, JJ Spawn, Xander Schauffele, Russell Henley, Harris English, Bryson DeChambeau, Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, Ben Griffin, Cameron Young, Patrick Cantlay, and Samuel Burns.
Any names stand out as the people who need to play really, really well? And any names stand out who Team Europe should be really worried about?
I'm gonna repeat what I think is going to be a potentially a terrible take, but I'm still going to back it up. I think Scotty Scheffler is not going to have a good Ryder Cup. I think there are going to be more than half of the US team that have more wins than him after this Ryder Cup.
I think you've just started putting on the clown makeup there.
Honestly, there's something about Scotty. He's the best player in the world. He is by far, he has the best level of any golfer over the last 3 years, like without question. Absolute superstar. The most dominant player since Tiger. I just feel he really is like Tiger in so many respects. I think the Ryder Cup is such a different atmosphere. It's a different type of event. The only thing I would caveat this with is he's going into this Ryder Cup actually being able to putt, which is a bit of a worry.
It's a danger.
He's doing literally everything. He's including winning literally just his last start.
Yeah,
well.
but it doesn't matter. It doesn't. You can go into the Ryder Cup off the back of 5 wins on tour. You'll be feeling confident. It doesn't matter. We see this all the time. This is one of the biggest arguments for why the US team always goes into these things favourites. It's like, we've got this guy's just won a major. This guy's just won the Tour Championship. Cool. We had Philip Price taking down Phil Mickelson at the Belfry. Philip Price. He looked like he just walked out of a pro shop. He's like, I'll take Phil Mickelson down.
Yeah, I'll do him.
Yeah, maybe that's what we need.
It's such a weird, amazing event. It's not about stroke play. Put that US team, put Scotty Scheffler against almost anyone else in this field, and over the course of a 72-hole tournament, he's going to come out on top.
See, maybe if it were an away Ryder Cup, I'd agree with you, because there's obviously something that went disastrously wrong for like him and Koepka last time round, but the guy is really, really good at match play. He did so well in was it Austin, where they used to have the WGC match play.
Yeah.
And he was like every time, like I know they kind of took it away a few years ago, but he was a presence there at a course that isn't necessarily screaming for him, but like the same guys, so Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Kevin Kisner, people who are just sneakily good at match play, kept rising to the top again. and it's something that you can't necessarily measure by strokes gained, but strokes gained match play is just its whole different thing.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think he is a better match play player than stroke play.
I think that's the worst.
I was going to say there's been some bad takes on this podcast.
David, we were there when he was carted off the golf course
in tears
at Marco Simeone. Like he'd just come back from the front line in the Battle of the Somme. Like he was done.
Okay, but some mitigating circumstances. One, it was hot. It was.
He lives in. He lives in Dallas, doesn't he?
It's like it was absolutely boiling, like which by itself is one thing, but this was when the US team were all down with flu.
What is this?
What?
What is it? It was hot.
I think someone signed up to the Scottish Scheffler fan club and now he's trying to defend his position.
And they had the flu. I thought, good. You want to be in the hot weather if you got the flu.
I'm just saying that all of the US team were down with something, whether it was COVID
It was
or
down with failure. It was what they had. They had a bad case of the suck.
They arrived, they were all down with something. And I'm just saying, I'm not saying that heat's going to be the one thing that knocks you off your game. I'm just saying that I'm sure that we've all had COVID here at some point, whether it was that or something similar to that. If you're then told to go out and play 36 holes of golf with Brooks Koepka in that heat.
now I'm on his side.
Right, okay. Now you're making
in that
sense.
heat with a hostile European crowd who, if we're being completely honest, did cross the line a little bit at times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You put all of that together and you know that you're failing, or at least your team's failing, and you need to turn the key and get that engine running, and it's just not happening. It's so easy to fall apart at that point. So I'm just saying, I think there's mitigating circumstances for
He
that.
did me.
Very good.
I think that
I was anti you for about 10 seconds and then you explained your point really well and now I'm on your team.
we now have a version of Scotty Scheffler that is, I don't mean this to be rude, but is interesting because of his position in the game. And we've gone from Americans thinking this guy's a bit dull to this is our savior for this particular event. This guy, if we need to win, we need him to score probably 3.5 points minimum, probably more than that, assuming that he plays like 4 or 5 sessions, which he'll need to. All of a sudden, he will have everyone at his back and everyone saying, you're doing great, you've got this, Scotty, rather than Brooks Koepka rolling his eyes every time he blades a chip off the back of a green.
I don't think he'll play foursomes.
The worry is, and this is what happened with Tiger, because Scotty is so good. Like he is so good. Like we've already mentioned, he's the best player. If he then goes into that first match on the Friday and loses, he's not playing well, he's not putting well, whatever. The problem is he's the number 1 golfer in the world. He's the best golfer in the world. For Keegan Bradley then to turn around and say, now you're going to be benched in the afternoon.
You've got to sit you now.
He probably won't do that. And that was always the issue with Tiger. When he wasn't playing great, they wouldn't not play him because he's Tiger Woods. And Scotty Scheffler is the same. He's Scotty Scheffler. How can you bench Scotty Scheffler? Which is why I just don't think he's actually going to score as many points as some of the other players.
Maybe, but he's only played 2 Ryder Cups.
And what if he has the sniffles? What if it's warm?
It's going to be raining, actually. It's
it's wet.
What were you smoking on holiday? What?
Oh, Scotty, no. It is too hot for Scotty. I did not realise you were such a massive Scotty fan, by the way.
We're talking about a guy who was in a jail cell
It's true.
and then started stretching, and hours later came out and took the course apart. This is not I'm not going to compare him to Tiger. I'm just saying this is not. Well, all I'll say is if you are correct, and what was your take again?
So my take is that half of the US Ryder Cup team will score more points, as in not half combined, as in half. Which
They'll get 4 between them.
I'll take a piece of that.
It could be a safe bet.
Yeah.
I would say half the players on the US team will have a better record, and it's a difficult one because obviously they're not all going to play the same amount of matches.
Yeah.
But I think, for example, Russell Henley will have more points than Scotty Scheffler.
Ooh, clip it.
I'm-
How many minutes?
Not sure about that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I've said my piece.
Just a final point on that is I think that there's two people in here that are also big. Is Bryson being in is big, I think, because I think he's going to rile up the crowd, and he's a brilliant person for this golf course. And the second person is Keegan Bradley. As the difference is that compared to Zach Johnson,
He's going to kick someone out of the way and just get on the course.
Well, no, it's not that, not necessarily that, but Keegan Bradley is someone that actually within this US team actually really does care about the Ryder Cup. We saw that back in 2023 he missed out, and we could see how visibly upset he was about that. He's not gonna, he is. But bear in mind, he's not picked himself. He is going to be so up for this, and he's going to rile up this team, and he's going to be a huge asset to the team.
The foursomes pairing that I am scared about is Bryson off the tee giving Scheffler wedges into these greens.
That's unbelievable. That was what they did at Western Trades.
So we've got. Let's play this a good game. So Kieran's got Bryson and Keegan being difference makers for Team US. Who have you got with the difference makers for Team US, David?
Am I allowed to pick similar?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I have one of the same guys?
Yeah.
Bryson and Cam Young, the two longest hitters on Team USA.
Wow, just imagine if the US win and Cam Young smiles.
He won't. It's in his contract.
Bring the house down.
I'm going to go JJ Spawn to have a breakout Ryder Cup as one of the best putters on the entire planet. And I'm going to go Patrick Cantlay. He hasn't had a great year, but I feel like he's just going to turn up in that environment, that crowd. Not particularly long, but pretty accurate. I feel like the drama from 2023 is going to spill over into 2025, and Cantlay is going to cause some problems. And I think JJ Spawn's going to putt like a beast.
Great record as well, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking as well. So I'm going to go Justin Thomas and Patrick Cantlay.
Yeah.
I think
just from pure records.
I think Thomas and Morikawa might blob the entire tournament, but that's just me. Can we get to Team Europe?
Team Europe. Okay. So on Team Europe, we have Rory McIlroy, Robert McIntyre, Thomas Fleetwood, Justin Rose, Rasmus Højgaard, Tyrrell Hatton, Shane Lowry, Sepp Straka, Ludwig Ober, Victor Hovland, Matt Fitzpatrick, and John Rahm.
Have you ever thought about doing the football results?
That's kind of what I'm going for.
Yeah. It was like Tranmere 1, Scunthorpe Town United 3.
I used to love
that.
I used to love the Scottish leagues.
Yeah,
when they came in.
My dad's fantasy team is called St Mirren Nil because they never bloody score.
It was amazing because you got through all the teams then. All right, I got really excited like, I was a kid, Scott, because you used to hear about all these far off distant lands. Because none of them made sense.
Yeah, they're not real.
Queen of the South 1, Partick Thistle 2. Who are they?
They're not places.
Hamilton Academical 5. Hearts.
Yeah, they were good. I used to love watching that. Come back from football training, it would just be on. It was great.
Anyway.
Okay, so who are your standout players in Team Europe? And who do we think is going to have a little bit of a stinker?
Should we pick two again?
Yeah.
I would go, the standouts for me, I'm not going to go Rory, because I think Rory's in a very similar position for me than Scotty. He almost plays every single match, and if he loses a couple, will they bench him? I don't know. Like, if you think about Scotty and Rory, they both have to have amazing Ryder Cups if they're going to be the highest point scorers, because they're going to play all the time. And the chances are they're going to get beat at some point. So, for my standouts, I'm going to go Tommy Fleetwood, great form, Ryder Cupper, to his core, really, you'd say. Like, he is somebody who, when the Ryder Cup is on, kind of similar to Scotty in the sense where he's a good putter. In the Ryder Cup, all of a sudden, everything drops. if you think of Tommy across the year, how many lip outs he has.
Oh, God, he leaves so much stuff short as well, doesn't he?
He must be the best putter who doesn't hole anything throughout the entire year I've ever seen in my life. It's unbelievable. Obviously, he's won kind of PGA Tour this year with the Tour Champs, but in the Ryder Cup, they drop. And I love that. Yes. So I'm going to say Tommy Fleetwood, difference maker. And I'm going to go John Rahm as well. Like John Rahm's coming into this into a little bit of a, not an unknown quantity. Everyone knows he's a great player, but he's like not won on Live this year, even though he's won. Did he win the championship?
Yeah, without an actual
because he came
win in the
third
season,
and everything.
He was top 10
Top
in
10
like
in everything,
8
yeah.
events or something in a row.
He's never not finished outside the top 10.
Yeah, and John is kind of one of those players who I feel in an intense atmosphere he won't shy away. He will grow, and he will get better, and he will be more intense. Like there's a few players on both teams that you kind of think if they get going the wrong way, like will they be able to pull it back or will it affect them? And I just don't think John's one of those guys.
Yeah.
So they're my two.
The difference here also, only one rookie compared to 4 on Team USA.
Yeah.
So these and even Rasmus was there in 2023. He walked every hole that Nikolai played.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure he might have played the second session on Friday, but I'm not confirming it.
That's speculating.
I'm not confirming it. So this looks like it is a team of people who have all done it before, who have had varying levels of success. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on Matt Fitzpatrick. Having
Just looking at his record there.
having been captain pick in and to have a record as bad as his, he needs to repay Donald for that pick, because someone like Alex Noren, who then went on and won the BMW PGA, Matt Wallace, who was within a few shots of making it in any, like, if he doesn't repay that faith to Luke Donald by going out there and at least winning 1 or 2 or 3 points, he'll be the problem in our team. And I think the difference makers are going to be Fleetwood and Rose. That Rose is Fleetwood. Obviously, he's had a great year. He, like you said, he just happens to turn it on during the Ryder Cup. He's got a feeling of Poulter-ness about him in some places. He just feels inevitable when it comes to a Ryder Cup. And I think Justin Rose has had a very, very good year. Came very close at the Masters. He's had those situations this year where he has needed to hold putts, and he has done so. And I think that experience is going to help him massively when we're coming into Friday, Saturday, Sunday of just relentless competition.
Rose is an interesting one. I think if he were a football team, he wouldn't be a league team. He'd be a cup run team, because he
Justin Rose.
Yeah.
He doesn't win the league, but it just gets to the final in the cup.
Justin Rose just comes in like he's Juventus.
I'm saying if we're looking at churning out results every single week, he's not getting a top 10 every week. In fact, actually, by his standards, it's probably been quite a bad season. But we remember him because he did so well at the Masters and the FedEx Cup and things. So he can rise. I've just realised the irony of the name, for the big occasion, and he can prep himself for the big occasion, and he's got so much grit. Like I remember, watching, we could even see it from the stands, the way that he kind of looks ahead at the fairway to where he's about to aim, and you can just see that kind of steel behind the eyes.
Yeah, he's got those dead eyes that Poulter had when he was holding putts at Medina. You look at him, you're like, oh, this man's possessed.
Yeah, because I guess there's only 2 guys from this team that were there at Medina, him and Rory, and it was relatively young Rory as well.
Very young, yeah.
I would say that Rory has 10 times more pressure than anyone else in that team because of what he said at the end of Marco Simone about we're going to go out there, we're going to win. He's kind of, he's hanging his own noose basically. He's got to go out there and get a winning record, do really, really well, or they're going to crucify him.
Well, it's just, the thing is, you're partly right. He does have to go out there and play really well. The other problem being that in the other 11 matches, they also need to back him up.
Oh, yeah.
If he goes out, if him and Rahm and Fleetwood go out there and win their games early doors and on Sunday, and it's close, that will set a big pace precedent of who is what colours are on the board. If he goes out first is a question. Do we leave him until 7, 8, 9, where we can almost guarantee him a win? Do we put Rahm out first in Sunday? Like, he does need to play well, but the rest of the team needs to back him up. And if they don't, he'll have the opposite of what he had in 2020. Oh yeah, well, we went and lost, and he said, I didn't feel like I did enough for the team. Was that 21?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, he went. He was like, "I'm really sorry. Like, I should have. Like, he didn't get any. He won his match against Schauffele on Sunday, but apart from that, he didn't win anything else.
Yeah,
like there is a lot of pressure on him, but everyone else needs to back him up.
Yeah, I think that I was gonna say as well. Roy and Rose. Like, I mean, if you've just won the Ryder Cup and then you're already thinking about Bethpage, like, you know, winning on away soil, like the mentality of what he's got, and then that must be spreading into the other team. Like, this team must be so excited to just get out there and just do it and just like you know, show what's going to happen. I think another mention is Shane. Like, obviously Shane, you know, we've all mentioned there that, you know, Tommy, Justin, Rory are, you know, like you say, Ryder Cup players to their core. Shane is one of those. You know, Shane in 2021 on American soil was probably the only good player in that Ryder Cup. So he's going to be out there. He's going to want to, you know, get involved in the crowd, and he's going to want to, you know, rile everyone up. So
yeah, he's got that away game mentality.
Exactly.
Okay, so here's the question: out of the players we have just spoken about at this year's Ryder Cup, can you build me the perfect Bethpage golfer? I want driving, irons, putting, and mentality. One player for each.
So like a US player and a European player.
Go ahead.
So I think we've got, well, driving,
Bryson.
US, Bryson. We've got irons, US, you'd
Scotty.
probably say...
Scotty?
Yeah, Scotty with the approach play. Putting, I mean, you got Ben Griffin's probably... Well, no, Sam Byrne, sorry, who's kind of probably the best putter on that team. And then mentality... I don't think it's Scotty Scheffler. I would probably say, mentality, Cantley.
Just ruthless.
Just ruthless, yeah. Like
Shark.
If you're thinking of somebody in that team who's going to be really steely-eyed and not let the occasion kind of bowl him over, Cantley's kind of... I mean... I probably wouldn't want to watch a full team of players with Cantley's mentality. Like, imagine a Ryder Cup with no fist bumps.
Well, we might get an entire team of people who don't celebrate fist bump or smile if he pairs them with Cam Young. That'd be so good, wouldn't it?
No hats, no fist bumps. Full US team.
Really? Cantley mentality over JT.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I thought Justin Thomas was going to be a shout.
If you're looking at somebody, again, if you want somebody who's going to go out there and win a match, I'd kind of probably go Cantley out of most of the US team. As far as European team, driving, Rory, irons, Tommy, putting, Tyrrell, probably, and mentality, I'd go the other way, and I'd say John Rahm for an away Ryder Cup.
Yeah. You just made one of the greatest European golfers of all time.
Yeah.
And then Sunday singles, which of those two golfers win?
Great question.
David, asking the questions.
Great question.
That's
David.
a great question. I love that. Let us know.
Great.
Yeah.
Love that answer as well.
Can you build that play?
Everyone's
sorry.
thrilled.
So that's the question.
Yeah,
What's the answer? I'd go Europe.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Right. This is just a list of the top scorers. We spoke about this earlier in the office. There was a bit of drama with Faldo on Instagram. To tell the story, what's happened?
He was just sort of saying that there was... Faldo put it on his Instagram that, you know, there's already a bit of gamesmanship going on, because as you walk into the first tee, it says USA 27, Europe 15. Obviously, that's, you know, including UK and Ireland, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, is that the complete Ryder Cup record?
That's the complete Ryder Cup record. Yeah.
Not just random numbers.
No.
So they're not like programming people. Like, you come on, it says 27, 4, 2, 8. The Manchurian candidate.
No.
Then suddenly your metal arm activates and you go and kill someone.
Putting.
Yeah. God's sake. But yeah, the Faldo put it up saying that, this first of all, this is gamesmanship. Second of all, it's not entirely accurate.
Yeah, he says he wants to get a biro and just like cross it out and put some what it actually is.
Yeah, because since '95, the record has been 10-4 to Europe. So that history is great. Yeah. But that was like, when your entire country was playing against our tiny little country.
I was about to say, when we were speaking about last time about the funding of each side, what we were talking about last episode, like how
when all of your professional golfers were playing against our people selling Mars bars and teaching you to keep your arms straight, so it was a different deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a bit of Ben there. Yeah. Who's sorry, just go there just a little bit. Sorry, mate, because we were chatting about this before about the actual experience in the European team is so much higher.
Yeah, so we're looking at, on Data Golf, the statistics for the points scored by Ryder Cup players. Sergio Garcia, famously the winningest Ryder Cup player of all time. Underneath him, Langer, Westwood, Colin Montgomery, which was a surprise, Ballesteros, Faldo. All Europeans, you have to go quite far down to get to your first American. So yeah, if you want to look it up on Data Golf, it's fascinating because there's loads of really interesting stuff. Like the people's percentage wins are very interesting. Like Bryson's played 6 matches in Ryder Cups and he has a 43% win percentage, which doesn't seem that good, really.
And honestly, it's like the Ryder Cup, man. It's just different. Yeah. It's different. Yeah. Don't judge Ryder Cup players on how good they are at stroke play tournaments.
Yeah. Tiger's is particularly bad. Like I think his is maybe even less than that.
Yeah, I mean Tiger Woods, 37 matches in total he played. Tiger Woods. He has a record of 13 wins, 21 losses.
Yeah,
bad. And this is the thing: they struggle with Tiger getting in with a partner that like could use his ball, for example, who kind of got on with him because obviously he's quite an individual personality as well. It's just different. Yeah. Like the Ryder Cup is just so different, which is why I think Team Europe have the edge there.
Yeah. Okay, so you say that, but the evidence shows that the home team almost always has a drastic advantage. Could be to do with course setup. Could be like we saw in Rome, and we're about to see in New York, that the home crowd and the home environment and the food and the atmosphere and the music and the jet lag and all that kind of stuff makes a massive difference to how your team plays.
Don't forget it's quite hot.
Don't forget it's hot and it's going to rain.
I was going to try and get that in.
So here's the question. Do you think it would be interesting to see a Ryder Cup play out on neutral soil?
Nah, stinks. That stinks, mate.
But why? Because it removes the question of we're just at home. Because I would love to see one played out in set up by an independent body. Everyone goes there and you play the tournament.
So the only way to truly make it neutral is you would still probably alternate US Europe, because like you'd want the actual crowds to be there. You'd want courses that you kind of associate with a Ryder Cup. So you'd have, say, it's US Europe. You would have someone impartial who comes in to set out the course. You'd have to get that agreed by both teams. You have to have a standardization of like rough thicknesses, all the rest of it, green speeds, all the rest of it. And then you'd have to have 50-50 crowds from Europe and US. Oh my, it could be like literally a football match. So US down the left of the hole, Europe down the right of the hole.
Oh my God.
Split in the middle of grandstands. Sick. Yeah, that could be interesting. Honestly, I don't think that that's the best way forwards. I don't think it's practical, but also it makes the chance. Let's say Europe actually win this Ryder Cup. How much better of a story and how much more of a memorable experience is that if you win on away soil? Because you know that the odds are stacked against you. I think being at home, the biggest advantage is the crowd.
Yeah.
And understanding that you've got literally thousands and thousands and thousands of people around the tee, around the green, who are cheering you on, who are willing you to do the best that you can. And on the flip side of that, you've got thousands and thousands of people who would probably break your clubs if they had the chance. Not in a bad way, but in a Ryder Cup way.
Yeah.
It's different.
Do you think being at home adds pressure as well?
I think it depends on the personality. Like, all of these guys play under an immense amount of pressure as individual golfers. Having all the crowd on your side in a raucous way, which they wouldn't have experienced, it could be daunting. And I think most rookies, they struggle to get the ball on the tee, on the first tee. Never mind hit a good tee shot. So it does add pressure, but I think overall having a home crowd is such a massive advantage compared to being an away player.
I think that this year just is a little bit different to the previous years in terms of the stuff that's been going on with Keegan Bradley and the selection of everything, the being paid and all this sort of stuff. Being in New York, I do think that there is a little bit of pressure for US to win this, because US know that Europe are right up for it. So I think there is definitely something, like you're saying here, Mick, about there being a bit of pressure. They're going to be feeling it. They're going to be feeling it.
Yeah, and I think particularly on Keegan Bradley's shoulders, like the problem being that if he wasn't thinking about it, he probably could have qualified to play in it.
Absolutely.
And then, they picked him. It felt, you said this from the beginning, it felt like a really weird captain's pick, because he was in the prime of his, he was playing some of the best golf of his career. It would be like us selecting Rory for Adair. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
It's the stinkiest Ryder Cup decision in history.
But then also, like, they've heaped that pressure on him to be like, oh, go and play. You're going to captain a team in, one of the capital cities of our country, this huge, iconic place, against one of the strongest European teams in history.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense, him being picked as captain at the time. It still doesn't make sense now. But he is the captain, and he's going to give everything that he has to that role. And I don't think that any of the players on his team are going to be concerned at all about him not playing. Like, they're going to be focusing on their game and trying to get the best out of it that they can. The only balm, the only potential of a European win here is if they start out great and they silence the crowd.
Yeah.
So,
because the roars at the Ryder Cup, I mean, when we were there in Rome, me and David, and we were there on that first tee when Victor chips in. He was just on the fringe, but as far as we were concerned, when we looked up the hole, we saw him on the green, like practicing a chip, and we're like, well, what the hell is that man doing?
yeah.
And then it goes in, and the roar, it hit like a wave coming down. And then all of a sudden, you could see everyone around the tee going nuts. You could see all the team being like, what has just happened? You could see them slapping each other in a positive way. And it was like, the momentum straight away was with the European team. Now, the only thing that the Europeans can do is take it away. If they go out, they win the first few matches, they win some holes, it's really tough to cheer for a losing team.
Yeah.
So this was Paul Azinger's advice to Keegan Bradley. You mentioned it right at the beginning. I'm going to tell you what it is now. He said you have to start fast. Because if the crowd get on you because you've lost the first two or you lost the first three, it's a massive mountain to climb.
Yeah.
If you're behind in those first few matches, or even if you look that first session you don't win convincingly, the crowd could flip so quickly, and the confidence of the team could flip as well.
And it works both ways as well. Like, if the US crowd get on the US team side, they're winning points, they're winning matches, that tidal wave can flip the Europeans over. Like, honestly, this after the first day, you could see I think there's two options for me as far as each team winning. You have a really close Ryder Cup that the Europeans just edge out, and the only way they do that is by starting strong, or you have a US domination, like a proper battering. I think those are the only two options. I don't see Europe kind of running away with this. I mean, it'd be great.
Yeah.
We'd have a great time. There'll only be us two left on the Sunday afternoon, cheering away.
Yeah. But with that in mind, would you say that this year, of all years, is the best chance in recent years for an upset?
No, not really.
No?
Because it would go against everything which I think about the Ryder Cup. the European team on paper is stronger, but it's only stronger because of their stroke play successes. Take out Scotty, and the European team is stronger on paper than the US team. There's no doubt about that. On form, on stroke play events, and all the rest of it. By every measure, using data golf, world rankings, whatever you want to do, the European team is better over the past 2 years at stroke play events. Well, over the last year at stroke play events. And that means absolutely chuffle.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. They're all great players.
But would you say with the experience in which Team Europe have, you know, coming into the fact that the US have four rookies coming in, you know, that has to stand for something.
It does. And listen, the European team have a chance, but it's just you're fighting against the weight of history where it shows that home Ryder Cup teams are going to come through and win. The only chance we have is like we have better form players if we do manage to silence the crowd early, get some points on the board, and then just try and hang on for absolute dear life for the rest. Because you can imagine you wake up on Sunday, you're the European team, you're 3 points ahead. Let's say you've got an amazing job, you're 3 points ahead. Imagine what that crowd is going to be like on Sunday.
Absolutely, yeah.
Imagine how little sleep you would get. That you're going to wake up in the morning, you're going to tee it up, and you're going to have 100,000 New York sports fans seething, praying that you snap hook your first tee shot. How does that make you feel?
Yeah.
Not particularly good.
Not particularly good.
No, particularly good.
Like, and this is what I mean about the home crowd advantage. Flip that around. Imagine you're on that first tee and you've got 100,000 New York fans wanting you to hit the best drive and supporting you.
Yeah.
You could feel that lift you up. Whereas for the European team, it's all going to be trying to push you down.
There is some continuity, though. We have got some good continuity going. I just had a quick look at what the opening pairings were for Team Europe in Rome, and Donald can put these same guys out. Hovland and Oberg, some arguments that there was a bit of a dip in form. Oberg hasn't done what we wanted him to do, which was to go and win a million majors between now and then, but... Rory and Tommy, potentially the strongest pairing at the entire tournament. Both of them had incredible years. Both play really well together, suit each other's games perfectly. Rahm and Hatton played together for the entire season, like for 2 seasons on the trot. Lowry and Straka is the one that I'm most worried about. Lowry has had an okay year. Yeah. Straka has not had a good year.
I mean, he had a great start. And then he's kind of petered off a little bit. I mean... It depends on. Is the first session foursomes or four-ball?
They're going to go out and play foursomes.
The foursomes first session. I mean, I see McIlroy and Fleetwood together again. I see Rahm and Tyrrell together again. I don't currently see Victor and Ludwig together. I don't know. I think there's players who are probably in better form. Again, you can only go on what's on paper. But also, like when they get there, they might be going out in practice rounds and they might tear it apart.
Well, that's the thing with Hovland and Oberg. You know, we obviously played with Hovland, and Hovland was kind of, you know, I know it's only a pro-am, but he was struggling a little bit. And then he goes out and...
A lot.
He was struggling a lot, but then he goes out and shoots... what was it? The first round of the BMW? Like he was leading after...
Leading, yeah.
You know, so like... And Oberg as well. Like the pair of them, you know, nice to see that little bit of form and, you know... coming into the event.
It's a tough one. I think if there was a captain who was to pick the players based on how he sees them performing, it probably would be Donald. I'm not worried. I think worried is the right word about him just dwelling on what has worked in the past. I think he's a big enough character and he's got enough respect within the team to practically do what he wants, and they're going to go with him.
Yeah. There's a... You know, the captains that have had the respect of the team and have, you know, the team have been behind them. Harrington, like even though Harrington didn't win, when he made decisions, the team were like, okay, cool. Like you can sit Rahm for an afternoon. You can, you know, so that Oberg comes into singles, you know, with some energy, you sit him on all of Saturday. You know, the captains who have got that respect from their players have been supported when they've made those decisions.
Yeah.
It would just be interesting to see on the US side whether he sits someone like Schauffele, who hasn't played his best this year, who, he needs him to go and get him a point. Can I sit you all of Saturday so that you're fresh for Sunday? Like, is Bradley going to have the respect of those players to make those decisions and not get called out for it?
I actually think we've not spoken enough about JJ Spawn. Like, he's not lost a single he's one of the best.
Oh my God.
The best that's ever done it. Because it is a bit of an odd one where if they're doing foursomes first, I always kind of think that all these players hit the ball relatively good distances now. So it's not just about being the most accurate. I think you kind of put your big players off first. So you got McIlroy, you got Fleetwood. And then from there, you got Hatton and Rahm, who I think will put together. But you've got great pairing, you got great putter, you got great putter. And then I think you probably pick who you think are the best putters after that.
Yeah, you've got to go on a little bit of form. Like the Hovland-Oberg one, I think can happen because, like Kieran said, they played pretty well at the BMW. I think the question is someone like Lowry and someone like Straka. If Rasmus has come into the end of the season playing pretty well, can you put him out? He's very long. Can you put him with someone who's great with their irons? It's very tricky. Very tricky.
Yeah, but this is what all the stats guys will be looking at this, and Eduardo Molinari I think is doing a lot of them as far as which games match up.
Yeah, and Paul McGinley's doing loads of that stuff as well, isn't he? So they'll be ready.
Because it does make a difference, and I think for these guys, they all know. Like I said, they're all amazing golfers. So if you can get a couple of guys together who like each other, who gel well, and whose games complement each other, you can only do so much. Like, you can get them together, it's great on paper, but then you're just throwing them into the lines then and saying, all right, survive.
Yeah, go and do your best.
Yeah. Good luck.
Let's just end. We have gone way longer than we normally do. Let's just end on this story in The Guardian, which is an interview with Luke Donald about the New York crowds and how the situation around the US Ryder Cup team being paid to attend the event might flip the crowd against them if they don't provide what they're expecting to see, which is a absolute battering of Team Europe. So Luke Donald said, "We all know how high the ticket prices are, and it's going to be an expensive trip out for a family of four. If the US players are getting paid a stipend or whatever it is, and they aren't performing, the New Yorkers could make them know about it." And later on, he talks about the European team, the European guys playing for free and for pride. And he says, it speaks to what the Ryder Cup means to these European guys. A couple of $100,000 to these guys isn't a lot of money in the grand scheme of things. Those weeks of the Ryder Cup, they are the best weeks. There's so much more to them. We certainly don't need any motivation or monetary rewards to get us up.
Boom.
So it could,
very well read as well. You hit every single syllable there.
Yeah, I did all the syllables.
Really
So yeah,
in your original accent as well.
Yeah, that's my Luke Donald impression, was it not?
No.
Oh no. Yeah, so they're getting $500,000 each. 300,000 of which they have to donate to charity, which they'll all give to their own charitable foundations, the Scotty Scheffler Foundation and the Patrick Cantlay Foundation. But then, which they'll then take tax cuts out of and then pay their dodgy lawyer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we've done drug abuse. We've done tax avoidance.
Money
now.
laundering.
We've done we've done. This podcast has had everything.
All the fun things.
What do you think about them getting paid? Let's go off on a rant.
I mean, I think I've already done a rant at this, but it does stink, and it's a shame that something within golf which has stayed relatively pure. It's a real team against team. It's not about individual prizes. It's not about the prestige of winning an Open or a Masters and the glory that comes with that. This is about representing a flag. It's about representing your nation. It's about representing your continent. And it's the glory of winning a Ryder Cup and what it means to people. It shouldn't have to be prefaced with, you're going to get money if you turn up. Yeah. Because these guys are making an incredible amount of money throughout the year anyway. If they are successful in the Ryder Cup, the rewards which come to them afterwards are massive. Like, they don't need money. They don't need this cash. And I don't understand why they would demand it. Like, listen, $500,000 is a lot of money, but Donald is right. Like, to these guys, the reason that they're in a Ryder Cup team is because they've played to a high enough standard throughout the year that they've made an absolute bucket load over that. Like, 300 grand to them is a reasonably good week on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, it's like
top 10.
Midway up the first screen somewhere.
Yeah.
What did Scheffler make last year? Like,
I think he made 30 million
30,
this year.
you know, like you say.
Like Scheffler could have been listed as a small independent island state with the amount of money that he's made over the past few years. His GDP is probably higher than St. Kitts and Nevis or something.
Yeah.
Shout out if you're watching from St. Kitts and Nevis, get into the comments and let us know.
Where do we have that one guy watching from? Was it Guatemala?
That sounds right.
We're the number one golf podcast in Guatemala.
We need to start doing that again. We need to start getting the stats up. Scheffler basically earned more money in the past few years than Guatemala did.
Yeah.
Minus all their rare mineral mining. So you have... It's an unnecessary complication. It's not enough money that's going to make a difference. It can...
I'm sorry, you're ludicrously wrong. Guatemala, 112 billion.
Yeah. I think they like mine lithium or something. Like they're doing all right. Or the thing is, am I wrong?
Yeah.
Let's pull up Scottish Shepherds bank account. Am I wrong?
He also mines diamonds.
Yeah, he does.
Do you,
Awesome.
like just to play devil's advocate for a second and flip it on its head, do you not think that there's something a bit weird about these guys being expected to play for free, considering the amount of money that flows through the event, the number of sponsors that are there, the number of people that pay good money to get to play, that get to watch these guys play? Do you not think that the money that these people are paying to watch these guys play, should not some of that go to them?
No, I would say that if you're going to give money, if you're going to take money, so what's it, 500 grand each. So what's that? Maths over 12 people, 7 million.
6 million.
6 million, sorry. So $6 million. So you're taking that money and you say, okay, so if we're doing it along the argument of like people are paying a lot of money to be there, cool. Take it back off the ticket prices.
Yeah.
Give it back to the people watching. Like they're the fans of the Ryder Cup are ultimately what makes the Ryder Cup. It's the same with any team sport. Like golf throughout the entire year is based on individual performance. And frankly, if they hold an event in Arkansas and no one turns up, it's fine because all the money really flows to the TV. Yes, they're going to take a hit on the event, fine, whatever. Like we see this all the time, like DP World Tour, like when they go to, I don't know, Menorca, and there's like 300 people there and 4 goats just watching, like, oh, we didn't know this was happening. This is great. Yeah, they still hold those events because they got the money coming through the sponsorship. And yes, a lot of money does flow through the Ryder Cup, and it makes a lot of different organizations a lot of different money. But that's fine. Like, it's fine. Like, why do you need another payday? It's not necessary. It really isn't. And I think it just separates you a little bit more from the fans. Because if the fans recognize that you're there to play for them rather than there to play for yourself, it makes a massive difference.
Here's the slice of information that kind of counteracts your point, David, is that in the years when there is no Ryder Cup, the DP World Tour loses money. In the years that there is a Ryder Cup, the DP World Tour is in a profit. And the European players know that when they go and their tournament makes loads of money, half of that money, sometimes more than half of that money, goes to the DP World Tour to keep the DP World Tour alive.
Yeah.
If the PGA Tour or the PGA of America was contingent on US players turning up and playing for Team USA at the Ryder Cup and those players not taking money, I think some of the team who had grown up playing small events in the US would say, oh, cool, yeah, don't worry about my money. I want you guys to... Do you reckon that would happen? Because that's exactly what Team Europe are doing. Donald and the players have obviously had a discussion. They're being paid. Would you like to be paid? They've gone, well, what happens if we get paid? Well, they go, well, the DP World Tour will have to pay that money to you or through the sponsors or whatever, and they'll lose that money. which means that this no longer becomes profitable, which means that eventually this tournament goes away.
I think that as well. It's just the fact that you've got 12 guys here that have the pressure of the nation on their shoulders, but they've also got the privilege of having the nation on their shoulders. And we've all been on a putting green before, and saying that this is the putt to win the Open, this is the putt to win the Ryder Cup. Like, that shouldn't need monetary value behind that to drive you on. That is, it shouldn't be that. None of money is not the Ryder Cup is not money. The Ryder Cup is representing your nations, representing your country, representing your continent, about how and you've got yourself into a position where you have the ability to represent these people, and to be asking for a wage of that just doesn't sit right.
Doesn't feel right. Definitely not.
That's why the Olympics is the absolute crux of sport, because they're all there representing their country.
They get paid though.
They get paid by their home countries for bringing home a gold medal. There's not a salary.
In all fairness, like the Olympics is a slightly weird one, because I don't actually mind like Olympic athletes getting paid to be at the Olympics, because let's face it, me and you aren't tuning in every week for the men's pole vault.
Although, did you watch the World Championships just this weekend?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Oh yeah, epic jump. Or like the triple jump. Like, no one is waking up on a Saturday morning, unless you're really into jumping and sand, and being like, oh my God, who's doing the triple jump today? So like, you get to the Olympics and you represent your nation, cool. Pay that person, because they've probably not made a lot throughout the entire year. They've dedicated their sporting lives to this.
Yeah.
Cool. But 500 grand is not good, and 300 grand of it has to be going towards charity. Yeah. So 200 grand to play makes no difference.
But Scotty Scheffler gets paid to play in the Olympics.
By the PGA Tour.
Right, okay.
By the PGA of America. Go and represent us.
It should be said also that, like, I care more about the Ryder Cup than I do the Olympics.
No, I was just... The point I was making is that you are there. You've got to your point. You have reached the absolute maximum of your sport, and that is the Olympics. And that the Olympics doesn't pay... you said that they get paid.
The reason that it's the maximum is because they don't pay.
Exactly.
You still want to go and win.
It's the governing bodies that pay them. Yeah. The Olympics doesn't pay you for winning the gold. Like, the gold is the gold.
You can sell it on eBay.
You can sell it on eBay.
The Olympics ain't what it used to be. They had breakdancing there last night.
Obviously, all right. I agree.
And actually, Scheffler's going to be in it with that footwork.
They're pick up basketball.
3-on-3. Have you seen that though?
Yeah.
That is unreal. It's so good.
Which I don't mind, which is good to watch. But this is the Olympic. Like,
I know what
when
you mean.
they moved on from discus and javelin, that's when the clouds have come over. That's when it all went wrong. Anyway, I think it's unnecessary. I don't think it needs to happen, and it's just
the Ryder Cup.
It is a reason to dislike the US team.
Absolutely.
Which is good. I love reasons to dislike the US team.
If I was the New York crowd, I'd give them some stick about it, and I'd cheer on the Europeans for being good, sensible, honest boys.
Maybe that's what you guys need to do. Just wheedle your way through the crowd. God, these guys again. Can
you imagine getting paid to do this?
Just speak extra, a couple of decibels louder, and just kind of get that
in your best New York accent.
In the best. Yeah.
I'll have to practice it. But it is easy. Like I said, it is easy to say this when it's very easy for John Rahm to be, I can't wait to play for the honour of my nation, when he's pocketing about 300 million or whatever he's on over the past.
Yeah, that is the other thing.
This is what I mean. It's all relative. At this stage, 300. Just imagine just imagine for a moment getting to a stage where 300 grand, and you could say, that doesn't mean anything to me.
Absolutely.
I could do without it, to be honest.
I don't know, I've not got the case with me. Keep that.
Do you know what they should do? They should make them take it home in cash. In a load of bags.
Yeah. Coins.
In quarters.
Quarters.
How many bags you check it in?
93. Okay, so to first of all, how long do you think we've been going?
I don't care.
I reckon nearly 2 hours.
141.
Nice. I think we keep going until the Ryder Cup. Just turns into a live stream.
Would you be on a plane in
I hope my phone's still going.
2 days.
by the way.
Oh yeah. If not, the rest of this will have been audio.
Cool.
So thank you so much for watching and or listening. By how many points and which team? Go.
I'm gonna say the US by 2.
Europe by 1.
US by 5.
Honestly, I know it stinks, but I think David might be more right than wrong on that. I hope he's not. I hope Europe win.
I hope I'm wrong.
I'm going to go Europe by 3.
Please.
No, it's Europe by half a point. If anything.
Retention.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
We don't even have to win. Like, we could just retain it.
Yeah, let's just get to 14 and then stop. Everyone walk in.
Perfect. That's great. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you do enjoy the Ryder Cup. Settle yourselves in. Grab yourself your favourite beverage, nachos or whatever other snacks that you want. And
Nothing even mildly American.
Nah.
Only English and European food allowed.
I don't know. That's one thing Americans do well, though. They do TV food really well.
Oh, they do,
Yeah,
yeah, because
but-
it all comes out of a packet.
Yeah,
But have you ever tried sitting down with Toad in the Hole and bread and butter pudding?
Well, it's
God, it sounds so
it's
good.
just, it's different, isn't it? It's kind of like, oh, what do you want? Oh, I'll have like nachos and some dip. Yeah, it's easy. I can watch and go. It's like, oh, what do you want? Oh, a steamed pudding. All right.
Yeah, I like spotted dick.
Yeah,
please.
okay. Well, I'm going to go. It's going to take me 3 hours to make this thing. But how's the goal getting on?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who cares? Or you could just order a pizza.
Haggis
Well,
chips.
The Italians.
Well, that's
obviously.
Italians, that's
Yeah,
Italian.
there you go.
Yeah,
You can
there
order a
we go.
pizza.
Yeah, we can get pizza.
But it's not like Brits like US have like appropriated a lot. It's not like nachos is like American.
We'll get tapas.
Tapa, yeah, get some tapas. Or go rest of the world. Go international team.
Yeah, we'll have.
Like get Chinese, get a Korean.
Get an
Get
Indian.
sushi.
Oh,
Yeah.
get sushi. Sushi in the Ryder Cup.
Australian barbecue.
Australia. What signifies that? Alligator.
Kangaroo. Yeah. A nice wallaby steak.
I've never had a kangaroo. Anyway, right.
We're going now.
Seem to be going off subject. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Enjoyed the Ryder Cup. Already said all this. Big thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring the podcast.
If you see us there, come and say hi.
Yeah, or don't. Like, either way, it's fine. Maybe just come up and just hand us a beer.
Yeah. Pete's wearing his fancy Johnny O merch that they sent to him.
Does it good?
This is really good. I really want. This is the exact one I want. So when you're done with this, don't be surprised if that goes missing. Bye everyone. See you. Well done, Team Europe, for winning. Bye now. You're the best.
Oh, God. Yeah. This is... Oh, my God.
It's coming out tomorrow. It's gonna suck.